Good evening, everyone. How is your day? I hope you are all fine, well at home, and of course, enjoying your dinner or you already ate your dinner. All right. Stay tuned. Tonight, we are here to discuss about a fantastic topic. All right. All of you will be really interested with this because we are going to talk about residential properties and how we invest in them. All right. So, a very good evening to all of you. Please sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And if you have any fantastic questions, please drop it in our comment box. I'm more than willing to answer your questions tonight. Okay. So, as you know, today our country has gone through, the parliament has started. I believe all of you saw this live on Facebook. Of course, there was a lot of debate, and of course, we are still stuck at home. We don't know whether we can work. However, not get your jabs done, get your vaccination done, so that you can come to work soon. Okay, I believe the government is going to release information on whether we can work once we get our 2 doses. So I hope all of you are well, okay, healthy, and stay safe, stay COVID free as well. And let's begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I start, of course, before I talk about the residential properties that we're going to discuss on, of course, if you're first time live, every Monday we do our 8:30 live here. All right, we are all online now, and I'm going to share with you who am I first. Okay, you need to know who am I before we start. If you're first time here, then definitely you need to know who am I exactly. All right, not the Jackie Chan movie show. Who am I? Who am I? I'm actually Lao Tong. Okay, you call me Lao Tong. Don't call me Sotong Lontong. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce my name. Therefore, I also known as LT in the market. All right, you can just call me, and that is my IC name, Lao Tong. All right. I have 16 wonderful years of experience in this real estate industry. Okay, since 2004, it's coming to my 17th year. So roughly, I started at the age of 20, and you know my age now. I've been in line for so long. Can't even look back at so fast the time passed. All right, and of course, I'm also a licensed real estate agent. I've been in the line for many years as a real estate agent, and also I'm a property investor as well in residential properties and also commercial properties and industrial properties. So today you will definitely want to hear from me as well what we're going to discuss about residential properties and how we invest in them. As a real estate license holder, you can check my number at E2733 with the Board of Valuers website, okay, or lppeh.gov.my. I'm a registered real estate agent, so it's no fake news. It's definitely a real thing. So you can just check my details all online. So of course, being here as a spokesperson for CID Realtors, I'm also a managing director and founder of this firm, co-founder of this CID Realtors Sdn Bhd firm, which is situated in Track, KL Track in Jalan Tun Razak. All right, if you know where Jalan Tun Razak, Bulatan Pandan is, if you're going into KL towards KLCC, just look to your right. You will see Zoom, you will see CID Realtors right inside Track. Okay, we are there not because we love to drink, but of course it's a very prominent property and one of the best entertainment hubs in KL Kuala Lumpur City Centre. However, now we are facing pandemic period. We are suffering, but it's okay. We will definitely recover. Track will definitely recover one day, and of course Zoom as well. Now, as a spokesperson as well, I've been in the line for so many years. Myself, I'm also a trainer. Okay, I train a lot of negotiators in the company to do real estate sales and also serve the nation and people like you. And of course, being a speaker and also a coach, I've teach many negotiators and also help many clients to buy their rightful properties as well. All right. And if you know what I specialize in, I'm actually very good in doing industrial and land. So I was in the doing corporate work for so many years, advising companies how to liquidate their asset, how to let go their assets, how to expand. This is what I do, and I'm very good, especially with all those warehouses, factories, industrial land, okay, agriculture land, all these kind of things, which is all the high-end properties in the market, and also commercial properties as well. Then, of course, also project marketing, especially commercial industrial projects. I do projects consultancy and marketing as well. So if you ask me, I'm pretty much very technical in the real estate industry. And some people ask me, you know how to sell residential property? Man? Of course, I do. Residential is one of the easiest in the market. Again, the product is the easiest in the market. In the mass, it's also a mass product, and it's also based on volume. And of course, I myself make money throughout these years of real estate industry that I've been in. I've invested a lot of residential properties, buy and sell as well, trade them to earn some living, of course. All right, we survive through this. So CID Realtors today, we have proudly to mention that we have 10 fantastic offices all around nationwide and growing fast as well. We are 3 years in the market, so just slightly more than 3 years. We have more than 10 coming, more than 10 offices, but now it's already have 10, but we will expand soon as well. Okay, that's a little bit history of who am I. So before I start, I think I need to introduce you first what exactly residential property is. Now, when you talk about residential property, we are talking about basically condos everywhere, building so many things. Okay, it is actually a place of dwelling, a place where you dwell, and of course you stay. Okay, which derives for as a necessity for every individual. Why do I say that? Now, three basic necessities of life that we need: food and water, clothing. Food and water, of course, you need to consume to survive, and then you also need clothing. Why? You know, you have diseases everywhere. Okay, you have to have wearing your clothes so that you won't get sick as well. And the third thing that we are all needing is actually a very important necessity in life, which we call a home. Okay, a home, which in other words, the old words we call shelter. So why we need a shelter? You can't be living in caves anymore. You can't ask permission to stay in Batu Cave or Gua Tempurung because those are all Paleolithic time, Neolithic time. So now you can't be a caveman. You need a place to dwell. You need a place to stay, which is why residential properties are an essential product, essential item in the market where all of us need it, whether to buy or to rent a place to dwell. All right. So, what are the types of residential properties that I'm going to introduce you now? In all of us, wherever we stay, we need a roof over our head. So one of the most basic properties that we talk about is actually single story, double story, link houses that we always see all over the market. All right, okay, you have the high-end semi-detached houses, you have bungalows as well, and you have village homes, kampong. In Malaysia, we call it kampong. Okay, if you have a nice piece of land, you can have a lot of penternakan as well, all your farming activities as well. And then we also have a lot of high rises. Okay, over the 1980s, again, Malaysia has been growing fantastically. So high rises has been built all over Malaysia, where we have condominiums, service apartments, service residences, townhouses as well, double two stories ones, and of course the most important item in the market, those low cost, medium cost apartments, which today we call under Rumah Selangor, Ku, PPIM, all these things. So these are the essential products. And of course, today, if you realize in the market, sudah. Lovely.
Yeah, okay, okay. Back on, back on. That one
All
refresh.
right. Sorry about the hiccup. This is what we have in Malaysia. We have very bad internet services, so I'm so sorry about the hiccup. Are we live? Are we live on? Okay, shall we start? All right, sorry, coming back to where we stopped just now, I think there was a hiccup. So we talk about describing residential sectors. Sorry?
Just rewind back 2 minutes.
All right. Okay, I think you were left behind back there just now with residential properties. I'm sorry about the hiccup, as our Unify always we have issues. However, no worries, there's a little bit delay, so they'll give you more time to ask me questions tonight. All right. So let's talk about where we stopped just now, describing the residential sector. We need a place to dwell. All right. There's a place of dwelling, a place to stay. During this pandemic period, all of us either rent or purchase a place to stay. Okay, we need a place to live. This is part of a necessity product. It's one of the three things that we need in life. We call it shelter, a roof under our head, over our head. Sorry. So, what are the types of residential properties that we're going to discuss about? Now, these are the things that you can see on the slide. You have a single story, double story, linked story houses. Okay, these are the things that you always see in the market. All the tamans there to build housing to for you to stay, and also you can rent. You have the higher end semi-D houses, bungalow houses. Okay, you have also now super link houses as well. You have kampong homes, village homes, where Malaysia we are famous of kampong village homes. Why? Because you have a big piece of land, you can do your agriculturing activities and your farming. And then, of course, we talk about towards 1980s, Malaysia has grown tremendously. We have a lot of high rises, we have condominiums, service apartments, service residences. Okay, then we have townhouses as well now. You know, new thing that from Australia, you see a lot of people build townhouses now. Malaysia also has a lot of townhouses. And then you have the low cost, medium cost apartments where we always call last time it's called Rumah Pangsa Cost Rendah. Now you already call it as PPIM or Rumah Selangorku, all these properties. They are built by developers to let you dwell, okay, to let you dwell in a place for you to live. And of course, throughout this pandemic, we have learned something well for the factories as well, industrial owners, which always they put all their workers into homes, which is too crowded, which actually in real fact you need dormitories to serve them. Okay, dormitories, you have people like Pyongnam who runs dormitories as well. Okay, so dormitories is a very essential product because it helps gives the foreigners that come to Malaysia to move the economy to work here. You need a proper place for them to stay. So if you are a big property investor, you don't want to invest on a small condominium or headache for one condominium. If you have the money, you can buy a dormitory or build a dormitory to rent out to factories and so forth, and you can operate it as well. So these are the essential products which we talk about in the market today that is part of under residential sector. And if you want to invest in them, you want to know what's the benefits are in investing in real estate, we're going to come for the next slide and in line for you to learn. All right. So if you want to ask any questions, remember just pop it up in the screen. All right. And if you're still enjoying my show, just give me a fantastic five. Okay, give me a five because you're high-fiving with me. Okay, enjoying the show, give me a high five. And please also help us share this link out, share this thing out so that we can bring more friends of yours, because we are giving a fantastic education to all of you in the Malaysia market in how to invest in residential properties and how to look at it as a whole to become a good investor in the real estate industry. All right, because only real estate can hedge on inflation, and it's one of the lowest risks of investments if you want to invest in one, and it can help you build your passive income as well. All right, if every one of us wants a passive income, we want money to work for us. So start off with a fantastic residential property that will enlighten your life and your family as well. All right, so what are the benefits of investing in residential properties? You will want to know it before you invest it, I'm sure. Okay, now residential properties is one of the lower capitals investment. Okay, you have a very low capital outlay. You don't need to have a expensive capital to buy a residential property. And of course, you can get 90% loans, 100% loans, or 110% loans also last time. Okay, so you got a higher financing margin. So this will help you get the banks to help you rent out. I mean, pay the money to give you the money, okay, loan you the money to buy a property. Now, think back why the banks can give 90% loans for residential properties. Because I believe residential properties are one of the safest investments in the market, where there's definitely everyone needs it, which is why, okay, the banks will be happy to be your partners. In my previous episode, we did mention how important the banks is to you as an investor when you purchase properties to invest in them. You need to make the bank as your good partner when you come to investing in properties. All right. So residential also have plenty of choices. You can go anywhere, everywhere to choose a property to invest in. All right. This is a fantastic industry, and you can know if you just need to know how to manage it. And of course, if you talk about residential investments, I'm very sure it's better saving, is a much more better investment, better savings plans for you to invest and put your money in than your fixed deposits. Today, if you put in your money in the fixed deposits, I believe you only get about 1% and max 2%. Okay, the banks want you to spend your money. So if you're going to spend your money buying a liability, a car, it's going to be very dangerous. So you don't want to do that. You want to invest in the share market. That one will be up and down easily. So you may want to get educated by us how to invest on a good residential property to maybe get about 20,000 ringgit to become 80,000 ringgit. How do you do that? If you're going to put 20,000 ringgit into your what we call it fixed deposit over 5 years, you probably earn like how much? About $1,000 at the end of the day. Okay, so why is it better to put 20,000 into a real estate? Because 20,000, if you put into a real estate, you purchase 10%, you pay a 10% down payment. Okay, maybe the property is 150,000, 10%, 15,000 plus your legal fees, etc., up to 20,000. That's your capital outlay. Over 5 years, let's say the property increases to 250,000. So 250,000 you made on book value 100,000. So you have invested, of course, you pay the bank's interest, you serve them, and when you sell, you actually gain you minus off your cost about 150,000. You will get 150,000 the property price and the cost of your legal fees, etc. You probably get 100,000 profit after you're minusing your RPGT, and at the end, your 20,000 that you put in became 100,000, 120,000 when you take back. So this is one of the best investments because you have a fantastic capital appreciation. Okay, we call it capital appreciation in order to make the money work for you. And this is the only way to hedge inflation. Okay, hedge inflation by investing in real estate. That is the best choice of investment, if you ask me, as a real estate agent, investor, and also human being. Now, residential also gives you less civil suits. Now, what is less civil suits? If you don't like to go to court, investing in a commercial property, industrial, or land, you may go into a civil suit, maybe sometimes some argument with your tenants or with some trespassers and so on and so forth. But residential property has one of the least problems in that manner. So you may not want to sue your clients, and of course, the worst things is probably they don't pay you rent. So when you don't pay you rent, you can go to small claims court. Because small claims court is less than 5,000 ringgit, and you can actually go there to be representing yourself. You don't need a lawyer there, so you can take action if there's a claim of less 5,000 and below. Okay, you can go in and debate in front of the judge with the person that you are suing. So you can actually go into a small claims court to help you solve your problem. Now, civil suits are a lot of things like when they destroy your property and so on and so forth. Residential, I'm not saying there are none, but very minimal. But if there's a case of problem coming out, so you may think twice to hire a lawyer to go for a civil suit. Why? Because your legal fees will be much more expensive than just claiming back your money that you are suing for. So you may think twice because logically you don't want to do that because your legal fees will come up in tens of thousands. What for going to court? So you can probably solve it by arbitration or amicably discussing with your client or tenant that you are renting it to or buying from. So look at this as an opportunity to buy a real estate or buy a residential real estate, but keep in mind that don't go for arguments and civil suits because that is going to make your life very difficult, waste your time, waste your legal fees, waste a lot of money as well. So residential properties keeps you away from that. Okay, keeps you away from that. And of course, you can also can invested to by everyone. It can be residential properties can be invested by everyone. Okay, if you just come out from school, college, university, you got your first job, you are 2 years in your job, you got your money saved up, and you have your EPF. Of course, your company pays you EPF, and you have your account too, EPF account too. You can actually take out money to buy, invest in a home for your own stay, or probably you can also rent it out if you want to. All right, so there's good ways of government levies and things to help you as well to buy. And of course, you have the HOC as well, home ownership campaign. All right, so you if you invest in a residential property, okay, you can have a small to large budgeting. All right, but of course, if you want to take a higher risk one, you go for the larger properties like bungalows or so and so forth. So depends. What is your capital outlay? What are you choosing to purchase, to invest? You must always have a budget line. If you do not have a budget line, you simply buy things, it's going to be very dangerous. All right. And of course, a lot of you also will ask me whether is it good to go for auction properties, because today in the market pandemic, a lot of people are suffering, a lot of auction properties coming out. Auction properties is one of a good choice, okay, but it doesn't mean all the time it's a good choice, because sometimes the auction property here, the defaulter has a lot of debts like maintenance fees and so on and so forth. So you may need to check whether they owe quick rent or assessment and so on and so forth in order to invest in them. So you have to do the double due diligence to check it out. Now, Malaysia auction properties are mainly for defaulted properties where the bank loans are not paid. So that's why if you, there's always a high court, or you go for public auction. Not like you go to other countries, the more advanced countries, we have private auction. Malaysia, we hardly have private auctions, sad to say, but we have the normal public auction by the banks as well. All right. So think about it. If you want to invest in auction property, it's not to say bad, it's good, but you need to do your checking, research, and due diligence if you're purchasing one. And of course, when you talk about residential properties, you have a much easier tenant management. Okay. Now, a lot of people get into trouble with tenants sometimes. Okay. They collect rent, then they say the tenant don't pay rent. Think about it. Sometimes tenants ask the landlord, "Can you reduce some rent?" Some owners will always do this. They say, "Oh, sorry, there's no rental reduction." Think about it. Are you human to do that? Are you humane to do that? People are also suffering. I'm also a tenant. I'm also a tenant. I'm also a landlord myself. So whenever someone asks me for this, being a Malaysian myself, we will always tend to have some better leeway in order to take in some sufferings people are also suffering. So when people ask me for rental reduction, I did like last year MCO, I get a half month rental reduction. And this year, some of them asked, I gave residential, I gave a 30% discount, 30% discount on a month's rental during this lockdown period. So you have to be humane if you want to become an investor. Don't be too strong. Don't be like a batu like that. People ask you knock on a batu pain the hand. Don't do that. Try to be nice. Give a soft approach. When you give something good, people will give back to you as well. So be humane. Okay, there's always an easier tenant management way, and whenever you discuss with your tenants, when you deal with your tenants, don't forget they are also humane. You may want to become humane in both ways, so that you both can enjoy a win-win situation. So think about how you do your tenant management if you are managing your tenant. All right, and don't forget residential properties is a fantastic industry, fantastic product which has a steady growth of prices. Okay, don't buy overpriced. If you buy overpriced, sorry lah. If you buy a property which is a residential property, whether what type of sector, I mean, what type of residential it is. Normally, residential properties, if you choose it correctly, okay, you invest it correctly, it always has a fantastic steady growth. Okay, now we are in a pandemic, you see price slumps, but prices slump, they will still go up. This is, I have a billionaire client who told me this before. Lao Tung, things that go down will go up. Things that go up will go down. It's like a graph where we studied modern maths last time. So whenever you invest in residential, it will still go up and down. Okay, this is a marketplace. But of course, because of inflation, you see the money value becoming growing more in terms of supply and demand. So if you look at residential properties, a mature area always has the prices much more higher. Why? Because the supply is less, the demand is high. This is a simple economic factor. That's why you see residential properties in high demand areas or high mature areas also increase in price. So if you ask me whether some people ask, is residential property going to increase forever? No. It will come down like times like now, pandemic or economic downturn. If you have probably an Asia economic downturn or the world economic downturn, so it depends. Like 1997, Malaysia had one of the Asian crisis situation, prices slump, then it went back up. Okay, so you have to see what are you investing and where. Okay, now we're going to go that later on. So if you enjoyed what benefits that you've just learned, give me a 5 again, give me a fantastic 5. If you think it's good, type yes as well, Y for yes. If you think benefits of investing in residential property is exactly what I've just mentioned. Okay, we will open up for questions later on. Now, the good question that all of you want to ask tonight will be where to buy, LT, where to buy, where to invest. Where shall I invest in? Let's talk about Malaysia first. I'm sure tonight we have a lot of viewers all over Malaysia, even in the East Malaysia as well, and North, South, or West Malaysia. All right. So where is the good place to invest? In the real estate term, all of us always say location, location, location. People say stupid. This one I hear, I didn't want to hear already. Location, location, location. Who don't know? Okay. Now, let me tell you where is good to invest. Everywhere. Everywhere that you need to do your research with proper supply and demand, demographic, geographically, so you were able to do your proper study, then that good place is a good place to invest. Now, how do you derive this? Okay, how do you derive this? Whenever you want to invest, whenever you put 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 or 150,000 or 200,000 into a property investment, you always try your best to speak to as many real estate agents around the area and choose the best one to deal with. Okay, speak to the people that is living in that area or go to the commercial activity area there to know more. Okay, there's no free lunch and there's no easy way on investments. The best ways is always use our five senses to feel it. Okay, and of course you have your mouth and ears and eyes to go and see, listen, and speak to others. So where is a good place? Everywhere in Malaysia, whether you're going to Kuala Terengganu, you're going to Kota Baru, you're going to Kuching, you're going to Kota Kinabalu, everywhere has its supply and demand. And the growth is whether a high growth or low growth. Of course, the best growth that you can see is, of course, in the city center, where you can see in Selangor, KL, you have the most highest of property prices going up because that's the majority people going there. Outstation people also come here. Why? Because all the job opportunities are there. Okay, so that's why people always invest in KL and invest in Selangor, because outskirts always see that there are people are all coming here to work. Of course, now you also see Johor Bahru prices are also going up. There's a lot of ample of supply there as well, but they are trying to get a lot of demand to come in. Okay, of course, you go to Penang. Penang Island has also a fantastic place to invest, and you also have a lot of tourism. Of course, tourism now down, and you will still come back up. So people are asking where's the best way. And of course, some of them say, of course, those with Airbnb lah. But now Airbnb also suffering. So if you ask me, going back to basics, the best place to invest is where people locally can rent from you. Because you want to do the Malaysian market first instead of thinking about the overseas or expat markets. Let's talk about our local market first. Because in today's pandemic world, you want to know what the local market can serve you. You want to know about local market, you need to know what is called local migration. Local migration is where other states, okay, other states in Malaysia, where are they going to for job opportunities? Of course, it's going to be KL and Selangor, and certain areas as well, like Penang and Johor, because Johor is nearer to Singapore. So these are the main hotspots if you want to invest in a residential property, because people who go there for work will definitely need to rent a place or buy a place. So if they're going to rent first, you have a good tenant demand there in that area to rent the property from you. All right. So where is a good place to invest? Let's downsize it back to Klang Valley first. People always ask Greater KL or Klang Valley. Klang Valley has a lot of locations. Okay, you have the suburbs and the urban area, the city center. So some people say, of course, investing. Some also say, I invested in KL, I lost money. I invested in Selangor, I lost money. Now, that doesn't mean that you invest in KL, Selangor, you for sure make money. You need to do your studies. I can tell you, you can invest in Kota Kinabalu. You probably make money in Kota Kinabalu than in KL. Why? Because you have done the proper research in Kota Kinabalu. Some people invest in properties like playing gambling. They put the money. I hope the property will go up. I hope the property will increase because somebody told me. Don't do that. Do your own research. Check your pricing. Check the demand and supply. Check what are the things around there that is able you to make the decision wisely. All right. Now, there's also a question whether to buy new project developers, new properties that's built by developers, or the secondary market. I'm not going to tell you which is better. Both are good. Okay, both also can make money. I'm just going to tell you what difference are there so that you know, educate yourself. What are the difference between these two? If you go and buy a new project development, you're going to walk into any developer sales room. There's a lot of sales staff there. that there's a lot of agents probably selling the property. They are just salespeople. All right. Same like if you go to a secondary market, agent is just like a sales and service person. You want to listen to them, but don't listen entirely. You still need to do your wise decision and do your own research. Now come back to new projects. If you go in there, you need to check what are they going to build, what's the price, and if you want to know, just give you a simple tip. You want to know whether the price is competitive. That project, go to the surrounding. What other projects are there? What other secondary market properties are around there? You want to know what the prices that they are selling, so you know the per square feet price and the market value of the property and whether you are buying a good investment. All right, we are not going to talk about rebates and so on and so forth. We're just talking about pricing. You need to do your checking and make your own wise decision whether this is a good investment for you. Don't listen to what they can tell you. Oh, to your property, you buy 500,000, can rent 3,000, rent 3,005. That's the biggest bullshit of your life if you ever listen to that. Do your own checking. You can always check the surrounding. What is the rental prices in the area where logically you can see and expect when you have taken your keys. So that is the most important thing, that if you want to do, invest in a new project. Okay, don't listen to the things that is assumptions. Okay, because if you do an assumptions, or you do assume, you know the word assume, ASSUME, it makes an S out of you and me. Don't assume. Do your own checking. Okay, do your own due diligence and check. So when you buy a new project, always do the price checking as well. Now, coming to secondary market, the difference between secondary market is, of course, if you buy a secondary market, you have probably higher outlay. Okay, because new project always got discounts or some things like that to help you out. Now, secondary market, you have to pay out the 10%. I know some of you would have gone to some property gurus, they say they mark up and get to cheat the bank's money and all those things. Don't do that. Okay, do the proper way. Invest your money, get your money to work for you. Now, secondary market has always good cash flow. When you buy a new project, you have to pay the interest first until the keys are given to you. All right. So when that keys is given to you, only you can pay your installments to your principal. When you invest in the secondary market, you have an instant cash flow. Put your money in, when you get your keys, you have the property already there, you can see. Okay, it's already built and it's already ready for you to dwell or for some other person to dwell. So if you're going to rent it out, you probably want to spend some money doing it up and then you rent out the property. All right. So if that's the case, you instantly get a good cash flow. You invested 20,000, you probably get a positive. If you get a 7% or 8% yield, you probably get about an extra two, three, $400 ringgit per month to use, okay, as an extra passive income to have, of course, on top of paying your installments as well. So let me advise you, where is best to invest? Everywhere. You need to do your proper research on it. We'll come to the next slide where I'm going to teach you further how to look in a good investment. Now, location is always the word. But every location is a good location, but you still need to do your checking. All right. In today's Malaysian market, as we know, of course, with all the pandemic period and all the cases rise, nevertheless, you still need a place to dwell. Okay, you still need a place to live, which is why residential properties is an essential product in the real estate market. Okay, what to look out for when buying? Now, when you want to purchase or invest in the residential sector, you want to know what are the amenities nearby. Okay, don't just listen people say Tesco here, Giant here, bank here, petrol station. No, go there. What you can see is what you believe. What you can see is what you trust. So trust yourself the best. Okay, look at the amenities. What is there? Is there a nearest bank there? Public bank, Maybank, CIMB. What is the banks nearby? Amenities. Where's the petrol station? Okay, where's the hypermarket? All right. Look at the amenities. These are the things that will drive the residential price going up, because these are all very good items that's nearby for your convenience sake. These facilities, as if you're looking at residential, but also look at the facilities. If you're buying a condominium, go to the facilities room, look at the gym, look at the swimming pool, look at the things. Is it well maintained? Things that is well maintained, prices will go up. And of course, when you invest on a property that is like a condominium high-rise strata titles, you want to know whether the management is good. So how do you know that? Go and check it out. You can go to forums, go to online type. You can be ask Google. Okay, you can also ask people around there. Talk to people inside the condo as well. If you can get people to speak to you, just ask around. Okay, it may not. The real estate agents may not tell you entirely. Okay, but of course, I'm not saying bad about real estate. Just some trusted ones will tell you the good thing about it. But do your own checking by going in and double confirm. All right, and then of course look at the infrastructures. What is infrastructures? LRT, KTM, all these stations. These are the things that will also drive the property price going up because it's convenient. Public transportations, these are all the importance. Where's the highways? Okay, where's the highways? Where's the bus? All those buses station will also help you get good tenants. Why? Because tenants that come from local migration outside comes in to stay in the property will want to use a public transport to go to work. So look at all these things because if you have a property or an apartment that's right in front of LRT station, likelihood is going to be easily rented out. Why? Because somebody will want to rent it or rent the room also will easily go up because they want to get a space to rent and don't buy a car. They can just go into the LRT and go to work. So look at all these items when you are buying. Okay, these are always the things, the items that will drive your price to go up. Okay, and research the demographics of the area. What are demographics? You will want to know this area. Is it a foreigner place? Last time, if you go to Mont Kiara used to be an expats area. Today, Mont Kiara prices also some of the places has dropped. Why? Because it has developed all the way to Segambut. So you also name that as Mont Kiara. So people, you also get locals going there to stay as well. Families, small young families going there to stay because they have ample enough of supply for the younger families in Malaysia. And you talk about if you talk about Johor, you have a lot of properties oversupply there. Sometimes I think you see certain areas have oversupply. Why, if you ask a Johorian why they don't buy so much condominiums, they always buy landed because the local Johorians are always going for landed property. Okay, and it's only the local migration ones will go there to rent or buy a high rise. So think about all this. If you go to Penang, same thing. Penang also you strive by tourism, so you have to see what kind of market you are going in for. If you go to Kuching, you go to Kota Kinabalu, high rise don't work that much there. Of course, you look for landed because the locals there, there's ample enough of land. So when they buy, they look at infrastructures, they look at look at the things that's amenities around it. Strata titles, high rise is not a big thing and not a big hoo-ha in these areas. Why? Because there's plenty of land. So you have to look at where you are looking to, where you are buying and how to invest, and then you must see the surrounding as well. Okay, so the surrounding of the property, drive there, move around, ask, talk to people. Okay, and of course look at the property as a whole. Whether is there any reparation cost that you need to involve, that takes into your costing. Okay, your expenses when you invest in a property, you may need to fix some leaking, you may need to fix some tiles, you may need to fix some kitchen cabinet. Those are the things. And one of the major things that you want to see is maybe you're not an engineer. You go to real estate, you want to invest a residential property, you want to look at the structure, how to invest a property that's good structure. I'm not asking you to break the wall and try to see whether it's a red brick or cement brick or sand brick, but just look at the structure. Are there many cracks? Is there plenty of extensive leaking? Okay, take note of this. That doesn't mean that's going to bring down the image of the property or you don't invest. Sometimes this thing, if it can be fixed, you fix it, and of course you can negotiate a better price to purchase and invest in such a property that has a little bit of problem. All problems can be fixed. It depends on how much the cost is to fix them. So look at all these things when you are investing or buying a residential property, because that helps you make a good decision whether it is a good investment or not. All right. Next item, maintaining your investments and selling them. Whether is it, how do you maintain your residential investments? Okay, what is a good yield? I think the yield calculation that we always want to discuss is a lot of people ask me whether is it a good yield to invest in at 4% or 4.5% or 3%. Now, the interest rate today is as low as 3 to 3.1% if you buy a residential property. All right, so I think some can even go 2.9 if I'm not mistaken. So whether a yield today, if you what is a good yield, whether is it a good yield at 4 5%, it depends on your liking and your taking. Okay, there was a time where interest rate was up to 6 point something percent, so people are looking at 7 8% interest rates, 7% yields and 8% yields back, return on investment ROIs. I was able to buy a property just last year. Okay, I also got a 7% yield. So if you ask me whether what is a good yield, is still a willing buyer, willing seller. If you can get 6% or higher, it's fantastic. Some real estate agents did tell me before, "Ayo, where got Mr. LT, where got 6% anymore?" Let me tell you this, there is, okay, there is. It's a willing buyer, willing seller situation. It's how you negotiate or whether the willing seller wants to sell to you at this time. A good yield calculation is about 6 to 7% if you ask me. And if you ask me if you can get it better, higher, even better. Of course, if you get it lower, it depends on whether how much you can calculate your capital appreciation, whether is it worth for you to invest. Don't forget, now pandemic time, interests are low. Interest will go up when the economy grows. Okay, so you need to look at when is good, whether the growth is same with your capital investment. So look at that. All right, your tenants are going to pay you rent. They help you pay your installments, but you may also want a good yield to get some money, some pocket money every month. All right, to get some positive cash flows, because positive cash flows can give you passive income. Your tenants are paying the rent for you. All right, and then you get a positive cash flow. You get a few $100 or a few $1,000 every month to do whatever you need to do. Now, when you have a good residential property, you have a property that you have made money from over the years last time. For those that have invested in residential many years, you have gained a property. You invested 200,000, a property worth 200,000. Today the property worth 500,000. So what can you do in this pandemic period? Okay, you basically can ask the bank, if you're a good income, good job, okay, you can ask the bank to do a valuation on your property and ask for refinancing package. Find a banker, do a refinancing package for you. If you refinance the property, let's say at 450,000, you have probably last time you bought 200,000, you would have paid maybe about less about 150,000. You still owe the bank 150. Now you refinance it at 450, you can cash out 300,000, and your tenant, you can adjust that loan enable to your installment is being paid by your tenant, so that you don't need to come up more money. So when you have take out a 300,000 refinancing on your hand today in this market, it's going to be a good choice for you to go and hunt for a good residential property to invest. You can also buy a property, get a 50% loan or get a lower margin. Okay, lower margin loan. Don't invest. Don't try to take so many loans on your heads. If you can get a 50% loan, the banks will love to work with you. So you buy a property, maybe 300,000, you pay 150,000, then you get a good cash flow better than putting your money in the FD also. So you can refinance your property, take your investments and invest on one. Why people burn their hands when they invest in properties? Because they simply go greedy. Okay, do not be greedy, because if you always greed for all those rebates and multiple loan submissions and what the gurus are teaching you, I wish you good luck. Okay, try to invest safely, invest within your means. Always think there's always a downfall, whether you can sustain your own income for the properties. So make sure you do a safe investment and be good to your banks and don't cheat them. So it's very important for you to know how to calculate when you do a refinancing for your investments in your future. Okay, look at a good package, get your hands on the cash, invest in some in this pandemic period, because this is a good time to buy a good property to get a good cash flow as well. Now, reinvesting your outlook of the property is also good. Why? Because when you have taken some cash, you buy some property, you may want to touch it up, make it nicer, furnish it, reinvest on the outlook of the property, make it nicer so that you can rent it higher. Okay, some people always think that if you buy a property, I want to rent at this place. But if you're going to spend some money to do up the property, to make it nicer, you'll be able to get a better rental return. So look at how you can touch it up to make better returns for you. Okay, and simply knowing the right time to sell. Why do I say right time to sell? People always like to invest, they keep it, your book value goes up, you don't refinance, you see the money. If you don't need money, it's okay, but you can always reinvest your money. Or good time to sell, you sell. When you sell, don't say ayo. Okay, no point ayo, because when you sell already, you get cash on hand, then you can reinvest 50% of the money that you have taken back. Another 50% you can reinvest another property to make another bunch of passive income. So knowing the right time to sell is very important, because if you keep holding it, okay, you only have money, invisible money. If you sell, you see your bank account plus up a lot of zeros at the back. So it's very important you know when is the right time, when is the best time to sell. When the time comes, I did regret some of the times that I actually got a buyer, I didn't sell. So now pandemic period, I lucky cannot sell. Why? Because price went down. So good time I went and rejected some offers. So I also have the same problems like you. Don't think that I always make. Yes, I make, but sometimes I also regret why I didn't sell last time. So this is human. When we make mistakes, then only we can become better. All right. So remember, know the right time to sell. Lastly, to let you know, okay, if you have questions, think about it, put it up. I'm going to answer you shortly. Last thing for you to know, don't love your property so much. Okay, love your family, love your wife, love your parents, love your kids, but don't love your property so much. If you have invested in a property, you must know the importance of selling it. Important to sell when the time comes, because when you sell, you can take the money and enjoy what you have reaped, what rewards you have got, what all the benefits that you first time when you thought of investing in a property, now you sell it, you make your money, you can enjoy the money. Okay, you want to enjoy what you make. Don't just make, then you forgot. Okay, you may want to buy your dream holiday, you want to buy your dream home or buy some dream car, you want to buy something good for your children's education or whatsoever. The property investment helps you to do that. If you sell it, you get the money. So start planning now. If you want to send your children to school, you better invest in a property today, because that growth, when your kids grow up, you probably can use the money to sell the property and use the money to invest in your children's education as well. There's many things that property investments, especially residential ones, can have a steady growth for you to make good money and sell it and use that fantastic capital gain that you got. Residential properties, okay, will entitle you to get passive income. If you do not need to sell, you have pay off your loan, okay, you want to have a very safe thing, you don't want to pinjam bank, no problem, okay, you get a passive income. Make money work for you towards your retirement. I know some of you will always say EPF is there, but can EPF assure you all the time? EPF can never assure you all the time. Okay, now even government asks you to take out money for EPF. Why? Because they want you to survive based on EPF. What if you take out already, then you got no money in EPF? You think the EPF money after 55 years old you take out can sustain you until 100 years old? Don't dream on. You need to take care of what you need to use after 55 years old. So if you have some real residential properties that you've invested over the years, you have paid off the loan at the age of 55, you retire, take out your EPF, then you probably get 3 properties on hand, you probably get about 5,000 rental a month. So your property is paid off, you got a 5,000 income from 55 onwards until you die, okay, until you go to heaven. So it's important when you have the passive income coming 5,000. I'm sure you can also increase it over years, or your tenant also increase the rent over the years. And with this 5,000 income, you can think about retirement, where to go, give yourself a good holiday. 1 year you get 60,000 of passive income. So this is just an example to explain to you how residential properties investment can help you build a passive income and make this money that you have invested work for you. All right. Love properties. My advice to you before I end is love properties, okay, but don't love the property. Remember what I tell you, love properties, meaning to say you love investing, because properties are good, it's a good investment, it helps you build your income, you need to love it. All right, but don't love the property, because you need to know by selling it only you see a capital gain and the things that you have invested so many years, and you can enjoy and reap it and harvest it once you have sold it. So it's very important to not love your property alone. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions to pop it up to ask me now about real estate investments, or especially in the residential sector that we are discussing tonight, feel free to pop it up. I'm open up for questions for you today. Okay. We want you to enjoy our talk. So, real estate, if you ask me as an investor myself, okay, I've invested in medium cost, I've invested in landed properties, I've invested in Sohos, I've invested in many kind of residential properties. Good thing is, until today, I have not lost any of the properties before. I've not gained a loss. Reason why? Because I always do my checking and duty whenever I invest in one. Okay, it's very important. You need to know what things drive your property towards a good tenant, a good tenant income, and so on and so forth. And of course, like investing near universities, investing near schools, These are all the amenities that you want to look at when you look at a residential property. Yeah, all right. We have a question. Can I just look at the question? Let's look at the question that's coming up. Is the question popping up? You can have any questions, just put on the comment box. I can have a look at it. Residential properties in Malaysia or wherever you go around the world, it is important to invest in them because you need them to get good income if you want to rent it out to good tenants. What is the good bank to do refinance? Okay, good question, Farah Bohat. Oh, dear, my friend, this one from school. Hi, Farah. All right, what is a good bank to do refinance? Actually, Farah, there's plenty of banks in the market. There's no specific one which is good. However, whichever banks that you have your incomes banking in, you probably want to get that bank's advice first, or don't look at one, look at multiple options. Whenever you deal with banks, always try to get multiple offers from the bank so that you can see which is the best one that gives you the best offer. All the refinancing packages are similar to mortgage. Even when you borrow bank, you get a mortgage, you will want to see the offers that is coming in. Okay, because sometimes the bank, maybe the bank that you put in your income to, that one will give you the better one because they want you to stay as a customer and they don't want to lose you. All right, so try to get offers, maybe 3 to 5 banks whenever you apply to see who gives you the best valuation and also the best interest rate and the tenure. Okay, also we look at our age, because if our age group is there, then you want to see how whether they can give you 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, and up to 35 years or not. So let's look at all the offers when you're trying to apply for a refinancing package. All right, there's plenty of banks in Malaysia. I think you can go to not exactly Maybank or sometimes give the best. Sometimes the small banks like Bank Islam, again Muamalat also will give, or maybe look at there's also Islamic loan and also non-Islamic loans, so conventional loans. You can also look at it and see which is the best offer for you. All right, next question. Let's have a look at the next question. All right, Lau Chi Hong, thank you. How to decide when is the right time to sell the property? Okay, fantastic, good question. When is the best time to sell the property? Sometimes people look at the property when you have a LRT station there already, the price suddenly shoot up. Is there a good time to sell? I can tell you no and yes. But if you think that price that you have made, you want to sell and you have a better opportunity elsewhere to sell, to invest in, sell. The right time to sell is when you choose. Okay, when you choose. And if you think the price has went up to a substantial and can't grow anymore, look at the property prices that are launching around the area. If the, like example, condominiums. Okay, some of the condominiums, let's say give you an example, Subang Jaya. You see condominiums, have you seen condominiums go above 1 million? Yes, but very rare. But if you see a developer launching condominiums at 500,000, 600,000, likelihood the people that invested there will need to sell at 700,000 to make money. Correct? So if you have invested something at 350,000 and it went to 500,000, because of that development there, the price has gone up, and now you get a buyer at 500,000, you make 100, 200,000, sell. Okay, my advice to you is sell, because I lost some opportunity like that when I've seen that growth, and then now pandemic come, you cannot sell. If suddenly this pandemic come, you need money, how? Then you cannot sell. You have to sell at a loss or sell much lower. Your gains are much lower. So sometimes it's a chicken and egg issue. You may want, when you see the gain, you don't sell. Later on, you lose. You don't argue. So, but if you don't need the money, then you can wait. Like myself now, some of the properties that I got offer last time, I don't want to sell now. I have to wait. Wait for the things, pandemic to pass. The market goes way up, then I sell. But what if you need money? Then you have really chose to sold last time better than now. So when exactly is the right time to sell? Do your research. If you see anything around that has bring up the price, think wisely. Will someone pay up to 1 million for a condo or 700,000 for an old condo like yours that the new ones are going? If I'm going to pay 700,000, I might as well buy the new one. So the old one has already reached a substantial amount, 500 plus 600. So it's a good time to sell. Don't keep it. All right. And most of the time, you want to wait for the condo to reach 1 million. I think you have to wait 20, 30 years for Ringgit Malaysia to hedge in inflation. So try not to wait that. All right. Try not to wait that and choose the right time and the number that you want to get, sell it. Next question. Fantastic. We have fantastic, good questions today. A lot of people are enjoying. All right, if I have the money, Prasad, if I have the money, is it better to invest in commercial instead of residential? Why choose residential instead of other types? Okay, why we want to discuss about residential today is because residential is the main essential product in the market. Okay, it derives our economy. About 65 to 70% of the property market is residential properties. You need a residential property regardless of what for people to dwell. Commercial properties is not to say bad to invest. You have to have some skills and technical things to go into, which we're going to discuss next week. But let's talk about residential. Residential, everyone needs it. You surely will get a tenant. Depends on the price. If you ask substantially high price, nobody can rent from you. If you lower your price down, somebody can rent from you. If you lower your price down, somebody also will come and buy from you. It's always a safe bet to invest in a residential property than the commercial property, because commercial ones, there are a lot more people, I would say, dare to say, lost money in commercial than residential. Okay, why? Because not as a whole of volume lah, because residential got a lot. Some people also lose in residential, but commercial wise, the decisions you make sometimes uh, it's more tricky. You have to see and also check the amenities nearby, and sometimes developers sell overpriced. Also, you don't know. Okay, residential, you have the volume game, you have majority market that will want it. So as long as there's high demand, supply is less, buy. Give you a good tip. Commercial property, of course, can be few stories high, or you can, and freehold, leasehold also, freehold and leasehold also derives the price. But residential properties that we're talking about, residential is a volume game. If you go to a residential property like those condominiums, you have 4,000 units versus a condominium which is 1,000 units and commercial properties down there. Okay, which one is better? I would advise you 4,000 below got commercial properties, right? You buy commercial property. If you have the income and also the risk you want to take, you buy that. Okay, 1,000 and below the commercial properties, not to say cannot. The 4,000 will be better because more people staying there. Chances of you getting business there is much more higher. But in terms of residential properties, 4,000 better or 1,000 better? Of course, the lower density one better. Higher density one, always more supply, got demand. But the supply more than demand, the price cannot go up so much. This one lesser, got demand, also got supply, but supply not enough. That's why the price can go up better than the 4,000. So these are the implications you may want to consider when buying a residential property versus a commercial property. Because commercial property, like I said, you will come into civil suits and more technical issues as well. Okay, so let's see the next question. What's your advice for young people who is in college now? What they need to prepare themselves for their first property investment with their own money and not their parents' money? Good, Christina, here, our friend. Thank you very much for this question. Now, today, Malaysians, we come out and work. A lot of them, yes, we depend on the bank called Pharma Bank, Father Mother Bank. Some Father Mother Bank, if you don't want to help the kid or you prefer the kid to do it themselves, then you need to have a good savings plan. You come out and work, you need to save your money. You want to invest in residential property, you need to save your money. Okay, if you don't save your money, you can't invest in one. Now, the question is now, you don't want to ask money from your parents, but how many years you need to work in order to save that money to buy a property? Let me share my own life, what I went through. So just to let you know, I lost my parents when I was very young. So I came out and work at a very young age. When I started real estate at the age of 20, okay, until now, basically, you know my age, I'm 37. Over the past 17 years, why I chose real estate as my jobs, as a career enhancement, because I saw the only way to increase my income by my own is when I become my own boss and I also see what I want to earn, I work for it and I earn. This is for me, not for everyone. I'm just sharing based on my thought. I thought of, if I go out and work, get a job, 2005, I slowly my salary over 5 to 10 years increase up to maybe 5 6,000. I can save how much I calculated. So maybe 5 years later I can get married with this money and then I buy my property and so on and so forth. It will take about a scale of 10 years to do everything. So when I came up to work at about 22, 23, after college, but 20 I started property. So 20 years old, I already did the calculation in my mind. So which is why I started real estate at 20, and 22, 23, I was full time in real estate because I want to earn as much as I can as fast as possible so I can invest in the real estate that I want. So I invested my first real estate at the age of 23. All right, so that is what you need to see when you want to buy your property. You want to plan your cycle, you want to come out and buy properties, you need to calculate how much you can make and what's the fastest way you can make in order to use that money to invest in one. Youngsters today, when you finish college, you of course want to get a proper job. But a lot of people say, coming to real estate, is it coming to those commission-based jobs and business? No security. Oh. The only way you have no security is when you don't work. If you sit home, wait for the money to drop from sky, then it won't happen. You have to go out and work for the money. That is the reason why I chose something that is much more faster. I chose my vehicle. I want to run. It's like giving you an example. You can have a choice to drive a Ferrari on a highway or drive a country on a highway. You want to drive a Ferrari on a highway because you can speed faster. So you want to go and get a highway to succeed. I didn't say I drove a Ferrari back then. I still drove a country in the highway. But of course, with that, I made the money that I want to make. And of course, you can also buy a Ferrari if you want to. But I didn't do that because I invested more in properties. So my advice to you is choose your career properly and also see the income and plan your income and savings if you want to ever invest in real estate. All right. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? You want to take one last one? One last question, is it? All right, no more questions. Okay, so to end what we have discussed today, just to look at the screen, I hope you want to find more information about CID. Feel free to go into it, CID, www.cid.my. Okay, but before you end tonight, do me a favor. If you're using Android phones, sorry for those Apple ones. We haven't get the Apple licensing. But if you're using Android phones, go into Play Store, download this item called CID Toolbox. Okay, it's free of charge. Put your reviews if you think it's useful because CID Toolbox enhances you to help you in your residential investments as well. You're gonna buy a residential property, make sure you use our so-called toolbox. It will help you in your real estate investments as well. All right. If you want to ever buy a property from CID Realtors, do come into www.cid.com.my. Our real estate agents have all the properties that is situated in residential properties for you to purchase. If you want to invest in one, log into our website and check it out what we have to serve you. All right. And of course, during this pandemic, if you've lost your job, you want an opportunity to come and work as a real estate agent or come to make more money, choose a good career for you. Feel free to call us or fill up the form at our cid.my. You go click and join us. You can fill up the form and come and look for us. You can also get our contact numbers easily from there. Okay, to join us, 900 ringgit is together with your rent, your certified real estate negotiators cost, the 600 bucks to go for your so-called rent class, 2 days to get you certified as a negotiator. So all in, the $900 is cost given also by CID Realtors and CID Academy in order to make you become a certified real estate negotiator and give you a fantastic career in real estate. All right. This is CID Academy. We are a real estate company that's going digital, so you can look at how we do business in CID Academy. Choose us if you ever want to become a real estate negotiator or pursue a real estate career as well. All right. And do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed my show tonight, I'll be here next week as well to give you another show. Please come into my social media, like and follow me at Instagram, LOWTUNG _. Follow me there and stay tuned to what I have to share with you and what we're going to give you and more education for you as well. And of course, in social media, Facebook, you can also find my page, LOWTUNG. Like and follow me there. We'll keep you updated with all the property needs that you need. And feel free to go into our social media CID Realtors page as well, where you are seeing it live tonight. CID Realtors with an S at the back there. Follow us there. Every week we have our shows and all the things that we put up, public shows as well, such as the rest of the public land talks and so on and so forth. But this show particularly every Monday night 8:30. Join us here in our page to stay tuned for this. Okay, be part of us now. All right, enjoy the show. I hope you have a good night. I hope you have learned something fantastic tonight. Hope you get good property and residential investments as well. When you make your money, don't need to share with me. I hope you make good money and enjoy with your family and the rest of your friends as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Be part of us. Steady Realtors, consider done. Thank you very much. One page hilang